Hello, everyone. While you're getting settled and logged in, I just wanted to share a few things with you. Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration Fair for all North and South Carolina students. Your camera and microphone are off for this webinar. And so if you end up having any questions or concerns later on, please make sure that you're using the question and answer box at the bottom of your screen. Those questions and answers will be seen by the presenters and they will answer your question accordingly. If you end up wanting to sign up for more sessions later with one of the presenters or just an additional session, you can go to our website, www.cacrao.org. That's CACRAO.org. A recording of this session will also be made available within a week's time on that same website. So you can kind of review over what they talked about today. And anyone who may have missed the session today can also view that on our website. All right, I will send it over to the presenters.
Thank you so much. My name is Andre Hill. I am the Associate Director of Transfer Recruitment at UNCG. You're going to get to meet two of my colleagues here in a little bit, and we are going to be talking to you today about the AAS pathways, finding your way with an Associate of Applied Science degree. We're going to go ahead and get moving so we can make sure we have enough time to cover everything. As I mentioned already, I work at UNC Greensboro. This is my goodness. I've been here a long time, we'll say that. And I work with students who are transferring into the university. So that includes 2-year transfers, 4-year transfers, things of that nature. Our goal today is really going to be talking about the technical degrees coming from different community colleges. We're probably going to from North Carolina because we're all located in one way or another here in North Carolina, but we're going to be providing some general information that should be useful for you anywhere that you may be going with your technical degree. So thank you guys so much for being here.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tanita Philyaw-Rogers, and I am the Strategic Partnership Manager for Community Colleges at Western Governors University. There's my contact information there. For those of you who may not be familiar with Western Governors University, we are 100% online. We are accredited and nonprofit. We focus on competency-based. You can learn at your own pace. We are very affordable. We have a flat rate where you pay for 6 months, so you pay for time and not credit hours, so you can take as many courses in 6 months as you possibly can. We offer scholarships for transfer students. We have Theta Kappa scholarships as well as program type of scholarships. We have 4 colleges: the College of Business, the College of Health Professions, the College of Information Technology, and Teachers College, as well as we're known for our comprehensive support program. So I look forward to speaking to you shortly about the Associates in Applied Science degrees that we have partnerships with.
All right, well, hello everybody. My name is Erica Hoyt. I'm the Associate Director for Transfer Recruitment at East Carolina University, Purple and Gold. A little bit about ECU. We're founded in 1907 as a teachers college. We are located in the great college town of Greenville, North Carolina. We have about a 29,000 student population with about 23,000 students being undergrad, which you would be coming in. And we have, gosh, over 170 different degree programs, you know, our undergraduate, graduate, we run dental school and our medical school and our graduate programs as well. And a lot of you probably are thinking of outside the classroom experiences. So we have quite a bit of study abroad programs, research opportunities, and also over 500 different student clubs and organizations to get involved in. And I should mention that our undergrad population is 30% transfer students. So we love you all. You are well supported here at ECU. I look forward to talking more to you guys later.
Tanita and Erica, thank you guys both so much. So let's get into this session and talk about the AAS degree programs. So the first thing we wanted to do is to make sure we understood what an AAS degree is. Why is it called out? Why is it different from some of the other programs that are out there? So the name of the degree all called out is the Associate of Applied Science. So the applied piece is really the operative word in that phrase. and that it really is focusing more on either a technical program, a technical type degree, or a career-based program. Most of them are going to require a very similar amount of transfer credits that you might finish under an Associate of Arts or an Associate of Science degree. But again, the goal of the applied science degree is typically going to be going directly into your career versus the Associate of Arts and the Associate of Science degrees, which are designed for college transfer. So most of them are going to require about a semester's worth of general education courses. So maybe an English, maybe a math, a couple of social sciences, and then you're going to get into the core pieces of what is going to be required for you to meet that career goal. So some of the programs that we see fairly commonly, nursing, of course, as I think a really strong example, early childhood education, medical assisting, respiratory therapy. You see the theme here. These are things that students can typically go directly into the workforce and usually can make a very nice living for themselves as they do so. But at some point, those students may decide, I'd really love to continue my education on a 4-year campus. And that is where agreements can be super helpful, in that if a school already has a pathway to accept your technical degree, you may receive more credit for that degree than you may would if you came in as a traditional transfer student. Those agreements are going to vary. Some of them are going to be matches between campuses. So for me being here in Greensboro, it may make really strong sense for me to have agreements with Guilford Tech right here in my own backyard. Some of them may be statewide. So it may be with all of the community colleges here in North Carolina. And then some of them are going to be mandated down from the state level. So nursing being a good example, they had a statewide agreement that was created that we basically all got pushed into. That says that you're going to take these nursing students and award them this advanced credit and move them forward in their degrees. I don't say that in a negative way. I think everybody was really excited when it came down because it made it universal. Everybody knew what was going to be happening versus some of these one-to-one agreements where maybe you have an agreement with one campus and maybe not another. So as you're moving forward with this technical degree, asking those questions up front for people like Erica, for people like Tanita and myself, as you're looking at your different campuses, we can start to answer those questions about, how much of my credit is going to transfer, what majors are partnered with my degree, and how long is it going to take for me to complete it. So definitely we want to make sure that we understand applied science, technical in nature, career-based in its nature, but still can be very valuable to you as you're seeking to continue your education once you start looking at 4-year campuses.
All right, so let's just talk a little bit about the value or the benefits of obtaining that AAS degree. Piggybacking on what Andre said, it really gives you experience and a springboard to a particular career track. And some of the examples that Andre used, nursing, there's other areas in healthcare industries, engineering, education, in the IT field. So it gives you that ability to jump into that workforce right away. You're career focused, laser focused on that piece. Also, it just also gives you some real world work experiences as well. And the cost saving piece is important to note because we all know at a 2-year institution, the tuition is much, much lower. You're able to save some money, obviously, for if you're deciding to transfer later and get that bachelor's degree. And it's also time saving. A lot of our 2-year schools, our community colleges, our technical schools, they may offer a little more flexibility, evening classes, weekend classes. So you may be able to maintain a part-time job, or it just works around your life schedule a little bit better. So there's some benefits to that. Another benefit is it just ignites a lot of passion in students. I've seen this a lot with the students I work with. They come out of high school, they're not sure what they want to do, but they jump into an AAS degree and it just on fire, that burning, like, I want to learn, I want to keep going. And so it ignites that passion and thrusts that student into continuing and furthering their academic quest or pursuits. Some other things that we thought were a benefit of an AAS degree is just that higher earning potential, not only for that AAS degree, but for that bachelor's degree. And you can see the statistic that we found was the median weekly pay rate for an associate degree holder was $144 per week more than a student with a high school diploma. And that was $7,000 more per year that you would earn in, if you got that AAS degree. And then also for, if you kept going, the median weekly pay rate for a bachelor's degree holder was 31% greater than an associate degree holder or some college. And that's even more of an earning pay raise for you, $20,000 more. So obtaining that bachelor's degree will just get you obviously more promotion and advancement down the road, and obviously more money in your pocket. So, and that's a good segue to leading us to talking about these different pathways at our different institutions to getting your bachelor's degree.
All right, I had a little technical difficulty there, so I'm back. So what we're going to talk about now are the different AAS options that you have across these three institutions, but we want to make sure this information is going to be useful across the board. So very likely if we have something where we have an agreement, it's very likely that the schools in your local area or other schools that you may be considering may have something. So if you're contacting us specifically, we're giving this information to you up front, but if you're reaching out to other schools, you can very likely use some of this information as a guide to say, do you also have an agreement like this, or what agreements do you have for my particular degree program? So the way this slide is laid out, the UNCG degrees are listed in the top bullet, and then in the insert bullet underneath it, it is then describing to you what is the Associate of Applied Science degree that matches to that major. Most of these, I think, once you start to look at them a little more closely, make perfect sense. And I'm going to go through each one and spend a little time talking about what difference these degrees make as a part of the application process. Now, number one for UNCG, and I think for my colleagues as well, in order for these agreements to kick in order for all of your credits to be transferred, you must complete the entire associate's degree. And I think that's important enough to be able to say again, it is, you have to finish the degree in a whole, in totality, in order for your degree and your courses to transfer in. So we started talking about at the very beginning, the whole value of the AAS degree and why it's important. But the only way that the programs at UNCG have decided to accept those credits is they're looking at everything that is included within it in order to be able to award that credit to you. So these courses are not designed where I can go in and take that one nursing class and then I'm going to transfer that one nursing class into UNCG. It's built for you to finish the entire degree program so that they will, when they look at the totality of knowledge, everything you should have learned as a part of that degree, now they can then equate those individual courses to match courses on our campus. So that's an important concept to keep in mind. So let's get into the list. Nursing. Our nursing students coming from across the state, they are some of the strongest coming out of these different community colleges. And you basically have a direct pathway into our nursing program if you finish the associate's degree in nursing. So if you are in your program right now and almost finished or already done and you're out working there, know that you have a direct line into our program. You skip past go, you collect your $200. That's an old reference. But you definitely get to go straight into the program and you're not going to be competing against other students for a spot. You already have your RN license. You are going directly into the upper division and there's nothing for you to worry about there. For our Human Development and Family Studies degree, that is many students who are coming out of the community college with the early childhood education degree. This program seems to be growing in leaps and bounds across the state. I see more and more students each year who are completing this degree. And those students also have the option of going into either elementary education or special education. So if you have that in mind, you're going to be in good shape. There is also the online degree option for Human Development and Family Studies. So they have two concentrations that are available online, early care and education, and then the birth through kindergarten licensure. So if you've completed the early childhood degree program, you have an online degree option as well. For students across the state who are doing architectural technology, here in North Carolina, you have the option of going into the interior architecture program. Our biotech students can go into our biology major. Human services, which is another program which we see a lot of interest in, those students can go into our social work major. Now, when we look at these last two, you see we're looking at some really broad options for different programs that you can choose, and then the major that that is going to tie to. So for students who are interested in our business school, you've got a bunch of different options that are here. They're not listed in any particular order as far as strength, but I will say that the business administration degree is going to be the one degree out of this list that will bring the most individual transfer credit with you. But if you're coming out of any of these other programs, you will still be eligible to go into one of the majors inside our Bryan School of Business. So if you are an accounting major or a computer programming major, if you can grab a couple of business courses along the way to bring with you, it will strengthen your degree, and it will shorten the amount of time that you're going to spend with us. We also have the public health degree option. This is a campus-based degree. There's not an online option that is available here, and it covers a wide area under allied health degrees, many more than could all be listed here, but I tossed a few examples to give some guidance as to type of programs that would be included. So medical assisting, radiography, dental hygiene, the rest of the list that as I can remember, nursing, nuclear medicine, respiratory therapy, you see the direction that I'm going in. So if you're interested in continuing your degree in public health, if you have an allied health or allied health related major, you should be able to then use that as a stepping stone to look at our public health degree. Now, one thing I will add in general for all of these programs specific to UNCG, well, two things. One, all of these agreements are just for North Carolina community colleges. So if you are at a community college outside of North Carolina, unfortunately, none of the agreements apply to you, but you still can transfer in the individual courses from your program. So if you contact me or any of the people here on the staff, we will then be able to look over your transcript and say, here's what you're likely going to get. Here's where you would likely start, and then you can make your best decision for you and for your family from there. For the students who may be in the process of finishing your applied science degree, you're thinking, well, should I take any additional courses out of the Associate of Arts or the Associate of Science degree? The short answer is yes. If you can grab a social science or an English or a math or literature or a science course, something like that along the way that comes out of the more traditional transfer route, those courses are going to transfer in under the general education realm for UNCG and for many of these other campuses as well. So being able to still focus on your technical degree, but then bringing in a handful of general education courses, again, should only shorten the amount of time you're going to spend with us, because we're not going to make you repeat those courses while you're here. Knocking out a communication studies course or getting your math requirement out of the way means one less class you're going to have to pay for here, which then should shorten your time, which should lower your bill. It definitely can help you in the long run. So if you're thinking about transferring and you want to know more, reaching out to me or somebody like me on the campus you're interested in, we may be able to guide you to a few more classes you can pick up prior to transferring, just to make that process a little smoother and a little easier for you in the long run.
Sorry about that, y'all. Trying to find that mute button. So let's jump into some AA pathways at East Carolina University. And I'm going to focus on just four main ones today for ECU. And I'm going to start with the most popular one, the most dynamic one, and that is our Bachelors in Science and Industrial Technology. And I put the link up there too. So there's a lot of information about this program. So I always like to encourage students to go back to the website to get the full wealth of information. So just a few things about this program. It's ATMAE accredited. It has 8 different concentration areas, and some of our top concentration areas that we see students coming in to seeking are our industrial management concentration, our industrial engineering concentration, and our information computer technology concentration. So, and this is a degree completion program. So it's designed for students to come in obviously with their AAS degree and finish in 2 years if they're going full time. There are some different options within the I'm going to call it the BSIT program, where there's abilities to go part-time, of course, or take some stops along the way if you, your work-life balance, you need to take a break from it. So the number of AAS degrees that we do accept for the program is quite a bit. So we offer 63 AAS degrees, and this is from the North Carolina Community College system. We do offer other AAS degrees outside North Carolina. We just ask for some information ahead of time with the student. We look over that AAS degree. As long as I've been here at ECU, we have not turned away very many out-of-state AAS degrees. So we encourage you to reach out to us so we can work closely with you if you have a non-North Carolina AAS degree. And that full list, again, is on our website. I'm not going to go through all of them. That's a lot, 63, but we do have a lot of opportunity there with serving a lot of different technical and industrial related AAS degrees. We also accept into the industrial technology program 32 AAS degrees from the Community College of the Air Force. So I don't know if we have any military students on the call today, but this has been a great pathway for our Air Force students that are coming in with an AAS degree. And as I mentioned a minute ago, this program is really designed for any type of student, whether you want to be online. 6 of the 8 concentrations are solely offered online. We also have the opportunity, obviously, to do campus-based, part-time, as I mentioned, and then, of course, full-time. And then year-round enrollment. So we have students coming into this program the fall, the spring, or the summer. We have 3 different sessions within the summer that students can start with us. And very much a strong focus in management. So this program is really designed to build on that AAS degree and catapult you into some higher level, positions. Maybe you're already working in a business already or an organization, and it really catapults you into that next level of your position. And some students will become, IT specialists or logistics managers or network engineers or industrial engineers, and just a lot of management focus with those areas. I'm going to transition to our other AAS pathway that falls within our, not yet, Andre, hold on. That's okay. All right, so our construction management, and both of these areas, I didn't mention it, I put it on top of the slide, but it's the College of Engineering and Technology. So they both are housed within that particular academic college. Our construction management program is ACCE accredited, and it accepts 5 AAS degrees from the North Carolina Community College system and accepts some out-of-state ones, kind of the same situation with our industrial technology program. If you reach out to us ahead of time, we have a great advising model where we'll work very closely with the student and go through their degree and just see how it lines up with our bachelor's program. So we accept 5 AAS degrees, as I mentioned. The 2 most popular ones I would say that we accept are the construction management technology and the building construction technology AAS degree that we accepted. And this is not as flexible as our industrial technology program. It's designed as a campus-based program because it's very, very hands-on. We have a Caterpillar high bay lab that students have access to. And then they have a lot of hands-on different projects that they do with local industry here. And then they also have a 500 semester internship that is required before they graduate. So a lot of exciting careers in this program, and I'll touch on this in just a minute, but these 2 programs, the placement rate or career placement rate is very, very high. A lot of these students will have positions before they graduate, or they'll be, as I mentioned already, it catapults them and plunges them into that next level or tier at their current work environment. You can go now. No, thank you. All right, the next two I'm going to touch on are within two different academic colleges. We have our within our College of Education, or our College of Health and Human Performance, is our Bachelors in Science in Birth through Kindergarten. And this is very similar to Greensboro. Andre mentioned a minute ago. It's part of a statewide uniform articulation agreement that was set up in 2018, where students or universities that had a program that would be able to receive the AAS degree in early childhood education. So this agreement was aligned with the community colleges and the universities. So students coming into this program, they have the opportunity to be a campus-based or an online student. So again, some more flexibility for the student. Year-round enrollment, so that means again, fall, spring, or summer opportunities to start with us. And within that birth through kindergarten program, the students have the option to do teacher licensure if they'd like, or they can go through we have a child development type concentration within our family studies program, that you can go that route without the licensure component. And then next, the nursing pathway. This is our RN to BSN program, and this program accepts the associate degree of nursing or a diploma, and it's designed to be solely online. So this is a very flexible program, and students, for this is a little bit different. They have a fall and a spring cohorts coming in, so it's not a year-round enrollment like the other three programs I mentioned. And it's part-time, so it's really set up for the student to be an RN and be a working adult and continue doing that great work, but also pursuing that BSN, that Bachelor's in Science in Nursing. And something new they started with our RN to BSN program is the early assurance option. And so this is for students to basically secure their place in the program a year before starting with us. So they're going into their second year of their ADN program, they can go ahead and apply for the BSN program for this particular option, and already have they already have a plan in place for when they finish at their community college. And then lastly, I just wanted to touch a little bit just on the admissions process. Every student has to go through our university admissions process. They have to apply online, and then depending on the program, there is a separate application. So of the four programs that I'm talking about today, nursing is the one that has a separate program application that you'll have to submit for those fall or spring cohort. But as I already mentioned, the three of the four programs are spring, summer, or fall starts. So students have the ability right now to apply next year for 2021 starts, and we're waiving application fees through next Friday. So Friday at 5 o'clock is when we'll be, that will be the cutoff for the fee waivers. But right now, this whole next week, you'll be able to apply for admission for free. Also, I wanted to highlight to you another really great piece that we offer to students is our credit evaluations. And we have the ability, we work closely with our advisors to offer, us to sit down and look at your transcript just to see how things line up with the program that you're looking to come into. And this doesn't necessarily mean it's specific to these pathways, but in general, if you don't have an AAS from these particular areas, doesn't mean you still don't have an opportunity to come to ECU. And then I already mentioned a minute ago, coming in with these AAS degrees and then coming through our different program pathways that I mentioned today, there's a high level of employability upon graduation or before graduation, even a year out from graduation, and then of course promotion within your current position. So, all right, thanks, Andre.
Okay. Again, this is Tanita with Western Governors University. Just wanted to remind you that we are 100% online and we are very flexible. We were created with the adult student in mind to make it your education flexible so you can go to work at your own go to school at your own convenience. Our average age is 36 years old, and 75% of our students work full time, and 85% of our students are enrolled while working full time. So, and 19% of our students are military. So, those are some of the demographics of who we are. And again, we are, we start, excuse me, we start a class at the beginning of every month. So if you want to start, and this is October, so if you want to start in November, you could start November 1st, December 1st. So we start a class at the beginning of each month. So you don't have to wait for August or January, the traditional schedules. And again, our semesters are 6 weeks. I'm sorry, 6 months. So you pay for time and not credit hour. So those types of things makes it very flexible for people, for adults who are working, or for students who have to work and would like to also still go to school. So to get into the pathways here for the College of Business, you see here that we have articulated a number of different programs, AAS programs, the community college programs into our College of Business. And like Andre said, a lot of our articulations that we have currently, our pathways that we have currently created are with North Carolina schools. However, we do have some with South Carolina. And if you are attending a South Carolina school, please feel free to contact me and we can discuss those pathways with those particular community colleges. But as you see here in the College of Business, the different type of technical degrees that are articulated into our different programs. And so in accounting here, we have healthcare management, human resources, IT management, and then the different options of administration, business administration, the different options there, as well as marketing. Okay, we go to the next one. The Healthcare Professions College. We also have an RN to BSN program. And of course, by us being online, a lot of the RNs that are currently working, they're working at a hospital. And so what we will do is you can complete your clinicals at the hospital you're working in. So we do have relationships with a number of hospitals in your particular area, so you can get the credit for your RN to BSN degree by still working. And again, a lot of our students are working adults. And so this model works very well with them. We are asynchronous, which means you could study any time of the day or night. You don't have to meet a professor online at a certain time. You're able to study at your own pace. And so that really works for working adults. And so please keep that in mind, as well as we are very affordable. So here are the different pathways that we have for the College of Health Professions. Okay, next, please. So here's the College of Information Technology. Here again, you have a list of the Associates of Applied Sciences degrees and the pathway that it will go into. So you see here with the cybersecurity, all the AAS pathways that will go into the different degrees: computer science, um, cloud computing, data management, data analytics, IT, BS in information technology, network operation and security, software development. Okay, next, please. Okay, and here's the pathways for our Teachers College as well. We do articulate with the early college, was it ED, what is it? Um, Early childhood. We do also articulate with the early childhood pathways, but North Carolina recently has an ASAA in teacher preparation. And so we also articulate in those uh, programs as well, although that's not showed here, the teacher preparation one, but you see here that we do articulate with the AAS in early childhood education. And like the nursing, we do have relationships with education systems, with school systems in your area, so you're able to do your student teaching and so forth while you are working. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, now we're going to start talking about tips for transferring with an associate's degree. So the first thing you need to know is that you have to do your homework. We've given you a lot of information. So what you need to do is you look at different schools to see what fits your needs. Are you a working adult? Are you a are you a person that likes to go to a large school versus a small school? Would you like to, be online versus brick and mortar? Would you like to attend a school that's all girls or all boys? So you have to do your homework. What college fits your needs? Okay, plan ahead. Again, do your research. Work with advisors and counselors at the college that you were attending to apply. That is key. Talking to people, finding out. Okay, I have this associate's degree. How will it transfer into your college? And like Andre said, we articulate the associate's degree. So you must come with the associate's degree to get the benefits of the associate's degree. So at Western Governors University, if you come with an associate's degree, then you can apply for the community college scholarship. Without that associate's degree, you cannot apply for the community college scholarships. There are other scholarships that you can apply for at Western Governors, but not um, that community college scholarship, because that is designed for students who come with an associate's degree. So make sure you do your homework, talk to the counselors. Also talk to students. If you have an opportunity to talk to students, talk to professors that's in that particular program that you're interested in. So make sure you do your homework. Again, ask about the pathways and agreements with schools that might accept your degree. Make sure that when you have these conversations, you have that agreement with you. So your university may not be familiar with it, or may not be from, it all depends on who you talk to, but make sure that you have your information. So when you talk to your counselor, you're like, nope, I have completed this. Here's the associate's degree that I have, and this are the credits. So the credits that I'm supposed to receive. So you make sure that you're knowledgeable about that. And if possible, like I said, visit the campus. Right now, in the stage of COVID, there may be some virtual campuses that you can do, campus visits that you can do virtually. Also, of course, with Western Governors Online, we do not have a campus, but you're able to still communicate with us, talking to our students, talking to our professors, as well as any counselors. Attend events, whether they're person to person or virtual. Make sure you attend events. This week is National Transfer Week, and so I know a lot of campuses like the WGU are offering different webinars to learn about our schools, to learn about our program. So make sure you attend those events and participate. There you go, in all the virtual sessions. All right, so check in with any vital information such as financial aid and scholarships. Again, that's very important for you to fill out that FAFSA. See what scholarships that you, and loans, and any type of money that you are eligible to receive. So make sure you do that. Also look at external scholarships. So they have sorority that has scholarships in different churches and things like that. So make sure you figure out how you will pay for your education, because that's very important as well. So make sure you make a plan. You do your homework, do research, research, research. Okay.
All right. And with that, we have given you hopefully all of the information and tips and things that you'll need in order to make sure that you're going to be able to successfully transfer your Associate of Applied Science degree to the school of your choice. So now we are in our Q&A session. So we are ready to take your questions in the, it's not a chat box, it's a Q&A box. So put your question there, send it in to us. And let us be able to try to help guide you and give you some good information that should be useful. One of the things I will share that we did get one of our colleagues who worked at one of the community colleges who said that the information was very useful for them already, that they see students who finish the applied science degree, maybe work for a couple of years and then come back, and then they want to understand, how that process is now going to work for them. So having this information out there. So thank you so much for saying that. We wanted to share this because we all thought it was important and thought it was relevant. And we've encountered a student or two like that who've come to us and then said, you know, all right, I'm ready to transfer in. And in some cases, we can give them very good information that they have a degree that is waiting for them on our campus that's going to accept the majority of their applied science credits and get them moving. And in a few cases, maybe we've had to break a heart or two, a student who maybe didn't get as much credit as they had hoped for, but we do our best to try to provide a pathway that's going to get them at least some of that credit and get them onto that goal, that bachelor's degree that they are hoping to pursue. All right, I guess one of the things we can try to cover as far as the Q&A, Tanita, I will let you start, and then Erica, you and I can chip in afterwards. Is there any difference for me when I'm using financial aid if I have an Associate of Applied Science degree versus an Associate of Arts or an Associate of Science degree?
For us, I don't think so. I don't know what the federal rules are in terms of that, but no, we don't have any other difference between an associate's and applied science degree versus a university transfer degree. All of our scholarships are open to anyone who has an associate's degree, who comes with the associate's degree. We have different scholarships like a woman's scholarship, or different program types of scholarships, say a business scholarship or health professions type of scholarship. So we do not have any any restrictions that I know of in terms of that.
Yeah, at ECU, there's no restrictions or barriers either in terms of a student comes in with an AAS degree and is seeking financial aid. I always encourage students to get there. Like you mentioned earlier, Tanita, about getting that FAFSA in early so you have time to check in with all the necessary individuals within financial aid to get a better, clearer picture of what your aid package will look like for when you do start. And then scholarships, a lot of our scholarships are we have a wide range of transfer scholarships. So, and it's based on GPA or credit hours completed, or it's need-based, or a combination of all three. And then we do have an honors college now for transfers as well. That's it's GPA based as a 3.5 or higher. It's mostly focused on that piece. But yeah, so no, great question, Andre, but no barriers from my end.
Same here. So I just know that if you got your degree, the application process is going to look the exact same for you for financial aid. Erica, we have a very specific question for you. So we have a transfer student who is applying. They're having trouble requesting their transcript. It sounds like maybe their college transcript. How can I get my community college transcript or my college transcript over to ECU?
Okay, so they're having trouble with their transcript and they're trying to send it via CFNC. Is that the question?
That's the one.
Yep. Okay, I didn't see it pop up until now. So for sending over a high school transcript, I can only request so they're trying to send their community college transcript. Is that what the question?
That's what I interpreted. So
okay.
They can access the high school one through their CFNC. They just want information on how can I get my transcript from my college sent to ECU? Right.
Great question. So generally, I know a lot of community colleges throughout North Carolina work through National Clearinghouse. So you can always go straight to the National Clearinghouse page and find your institution and send it electronically. Or you could go to your community college registrar's page to see what options they have for sending their transcripts. I know there's some still in the state that may not do electronic; they only do postal mail. So I would encourage you to either look at the National Clearinghouse database to see if your school is participating or works closely with them, or go to your registrar's office at your community college.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully that answers the question. I got so there for a second. But I should point out, if you are already at the community college and you've been there for a little while, we wouldn't need your high school transcripts anyways. So we would just be focusing on that community college work, your GPA there, what you've done. And if you are on your way to completing a degree, we generally ask for, or if you have it in progress, we do have a form that we email you that just essentially it just lets us know, it verifies that you're on track to completing the AAS degree.
That's an excellent point. There are very few students who are transferring that we need high school transcripts for anymore either at UNCG, so save yourself that time. There was one person that messaged the group, but I'm happy to take that question in my email. So please email me and I'll be happy to respond to you there. So I'm going to give it back over to our facilitator who is going to close us out.
Yes, that was great. Thank you all for coming, and thank you participants for joining us today. You will find a 4-question survey after you leave the event here, and just respond to that if you can. Give us some tips on how we can improve. And then, of course, if you would like to sign up for more sessions, you can go to our website, www.cacrao.org. That is CACRAO. And a recording of this session will also be available within a week on that website. So thank you so much for coming.